Hey everyone, welcome to the World Games Film Room. This is the penultimate episode and we're going to look at Germany versus Colombia in the bronze medal match. This is a really low turnover game, both teams played very well. Let's get straight into it. Marvin Voldvogel centers the disc and then cuts immediately deep. Simon Ramirez knows he's been beaten, so gestures for help. Müller sends a lead backhand instead of the deep shot, which kind of catches Voldvogel off guard and is also a bit too far out in front of him. Maybe Voldvogel could possibly get there if Julio Duque doesn't respond to Ramirez's ask for help with a clutch layout poach D. Awesome awareness from Duque. A disappointing drop for Dresa. Like Levka in the semis, Dresa does catch this with the wrong hand on top. Right hand on top would be more ideal here. Nico Müller puts this too high for Gärtner. There really should be far more urgency to provide Müller with any reasonable option in all of the lateral and backfield space closer to the disc. Prien clears away, and Schlor is pretty static. Müller never looks for any throw but this ambitious yard gainer to Gärtner. Not great from Germany. Manu calls a timeout and leads the D-line to convert for the 7-3 lead at half without a single turn for Team Colombia.
Oh, and she's going to open up another huge blade and finding that left corner again. Duque with the score.
Nearly half an hour later and we finally have another turnover. After receiving the huck downfield, Cantore dishes to Andres Ramirez. Ramirez gets a whole lot of nothing from his teammates, all of them well covered. He turns back to Cantore, who has half a step on Spiegel. Ramirez sends it to the end zone. It's not quite far enough, and it's just in range of Spiegel's layout bid. Spiegel looks like he reads Cantore's hand raise, and that could be the difference maker with the defensive pressure he's able to provide. You could argue that this is a receiving foul. It's certainly non-minor contact immediately after the play, but it's not completely clear that Spiegel initiates this contact. This is a really good team defense turn from Colombia. The Colombian men are playing fairly tight match defense, but the women are bracketing, with Cárdenas and Torres taking the German women cutting under, and Valeria taking deeps. None of the German women manage to get free before Spiegel jacks it deep to Schlor, and Alberú is able to catch up and get the D for Colombia. Konrad Schlor initially calls foul and then retracts it, likely deciding there's not quite enough contact to uphold the foul call. Although Spiegel doesn't have any good downfield progression options, he does always have a free reset to Hunschmeyer, which he could use to get a give-go up the line into a power position. Despite being well executed, the huck is a bad decision, especially in the context of this low turnover game.
He's going to retract it after a bit of a chat with Ivan Alba, a fair fight in the end.
Cantore does have the inside positioning, but Boermüller is gaining fast. The throw from Cárdenas is a little too far out in front of Cantore, and Boermüller gets a rare block on the outside lane. He continues his run and receives the huck for an immediate score.
Crossed over there onto the D-line. Both players celebrating before it scored.
I'd really like to see instead Gina look for the return pass to Andres Ramirez, who makes a nice throw and go move right before this. Alejandro Torres jacks a huck down the sideline and it never comes back in field. Gina does have deep separation, but is cutting right down the sideline. A lot is made of the same third rule, but this is almost the same 10th huck. This huck would be easier to execute if Gina and Alejandro are more laterally offset, or if the throw is curved more into the middle of the field. This is the final turn of the game, with Colombia winning 13-11. On to the takeaways.
Easy find, but retracted call, and that is the bronze medal for Colombia.
In a previous video, I've already talked about the impact Valeria Cárdenas had in this game. Her hucks, particularly in this game, are impeccable. But credit goes to all the Colombian players, and to be honest, both sets of players who played a super clean game with only 7 total turnovers, the least of any game we've looked at in this series. It's nice to see Colombia's team defense generate 2 turnovers in this game, but a lack of blocks generated in general is the only big negative takeaway of Colombia's 2022 campaign. It feels like they need a couple more defenders who can apply lots of pressure and match defense and make some huge play without sacrificing awareness and team defense. Can they claim the gold in Chengdu 2025? Only time will tell. And what a fantastic performance from Germany. They massively overperformed their expectations, with Anna Gärtner, Levka Walczak, Nico Müller, Konrad Schlor, Lena Trautmann and Kyoko Benavides all shining brightly. Can they replicate their success in 2025? Next time we're on to the final. I'll see you then.